everybody. It's always like the lighting sucks. Like my hair is a little touchy. All right. I'll let people know I'm on early on Instagram. So here we go. I'm letting people know. Not that anyone's here. Oops. That was... Hi, everybody. I'm live on YouTube. Come see me doing readings. It's like 6:19. I wish I could get the lighting on YouTube to look this good. All right, bye. All right, see if people come. I am early. Let's see. I wish the lighting would be better. Oh well, we'll see. So I'm doing some intuitive and medium readings. Things have been kind of insane out here. I kind of feel like, when the walls are closing in on everybody, I feel like things have been changing drastically for people. There's been a feeling of people getting a sense that things are closing in on them. The world is kind of going through some like weird changes, which I've been saying we're going to go through. But it's starting to feel like, when like you get this feeling like things are like kind of like harsher and a little more abrasive. It's starting to feel like that. I feel like people are getting more and more far apart instead of coming together, which is causing problem. What is that noise? And I feel like as we go into the future, it is kind of giving people like pause, like, are things going to shift? Are we going to move into a better place? I've been noticing in my readings that people are just really feeling like they're a little bit lost. They want to make change. They want to move forward, but people are like really afraid to, which is understandable. I have been connecting with the spirit world and connecting with the other realms, but honestly, it's been kind of quiet even in those realms, which makes me feel we're going through like a major shift. The problem with what's happening right now is that people start to feel like, is there, like there's like a battle of good and evil. That's what I feel like. Like, does the bad side always win? Does the good side ever win? It starts to make people question what they should do. Should they just kind of stop fighting, stop pushing forward, stop believing in the positive? And I think that's valid to feel all those things and understandable, because the world is feeling darker. I also feel like I'm just talking to myself. I'm looking for something. Where did I put this? Did I put this? Okay, just disappeared. I feel like I'm talking to myself. um, it can feel like the world's getting darker. Um, ugh, it's a weird time. It really is. It starts to make you question. It'll start to make you question your beliefs, what you believe in, what what direct how you want to handle things, what direction you want to go. Yeah. So if I'm here by myself, I guess I'm here by myself. I feel like myself in general, it gets harder to hold on to the light when things are so dark. Hold on. Speaking of dark, I'm just trying to look for, I don't want you to see me like, oh, here, this is where I put it. You know how sometimes you organize stuff and you're like, and then I forgot where I put it. I was just looking for these tissues. Anyway, the world can start to feel kind of dark, and that's what's starting to feel right now. If anybody is hearing me, can you let me know so I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself? Because that's no fun. Sometimes if I'm talking to myself, people will message me on Instagram. So I'm looking. Okay. Anyway. I can both see and hear you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Neon. Anyway, that's kind of what I've noticed in my readings. In here, I do mini readings on YouTube about once a week. I do intuitive and medium readings for donation that I put into the description where to do that. But yeah, this is what I've been seeing a lot. I don't know if people have been feeling the same way. It does feel like there's like an energy shift, almost like, you know, but I'm not receiving notifications for your lives on videos on YouTube. What? Why would that be? Would that be on my fault thing? Do I not have that out there? Do I not have that set up? I don't think that's something I can control. They just don't push me out very much because I don't really come on here very much, only for lives. On another note, I've been writing my book. I've been writing my book that is kind of a section, a memoir of how I got to where I am, how I arrived here, where I am now. Meaning like my journey of my abilities and how I started harnessing them and how I got here. I'm on chapter 14. And to those of you who've been following me writing this book, you can know that's a big deal for me. I'm actually coming around the bend to wrapping this book up. It was really hard to write. It's really hard to write about yourself. And I know people are interested in paranormal. They're interested in how you have, you know, being psychic, being witchy, all this kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, look at Wicked, look at Harry Potter. But when it's like a real story, it's a little different. than a fantasy one. And I've been kind of writing about my life and how I got here. And um, if you listen to my podcast or anything else I do, I've been talking about this stuff for a very long time. And maybe it's a good timing for everything going on in the world. I definitely notice people are questioning where they are in life at this time. I've been noticing that people in readings are wondering, like, almost like they're looking to make a change. It's been a weird time because everything is shifting and it feels like the ground isn't solid under people's feet. And people are right because, I'm not going to lie, things are rough and they're going to keep being rough. I do believe we're going to come into a clearing, but unfortunately, it's kind of a little bit of, the light Jedi's against the dark, against, you know, against the dark Jedi's, the dark side. It does feel like this, and I can see why people are reaching out to me in readings and starting to ask, you know, what direction they can go. The spiritual world and the other realm, they're very much involved with trying to help us move into a new direction. But the problem with human beings, and you got to know this, is we almost don't like it when things are okay. We almost don't like it when things are settled. We almost don't like it when things are going well. We like drama. We like a little bit of even, like, you know, fighting against each other. It's almost like we say we want to have this peace and we want to be able to come together as people, but it really is a concept. It's not something people ever follow through with. And I do feel like because a couple of reasons. One, we've been taught through religion and other things that difficulty and pain and struggle is the only way people learn anything, that it's almost good for us. We also aren't used to bringing each other up. We're not used to, um, not used to this idea that, hey, maybe we can live in a place where everyone can have a piece of the pie. We kind of don't want everyone to have the piece of the pie. Does this make sense? We kind of like the idea of hierarchy. We like the idea of following someone. This is a problem. I've always believed that until we change our conscious way of thinking, the world won't change. It won't just change under laws, under politics. It has to change in the way of thinking. If we don't start thinking differently, if we don't start thinking in a way of, like, we can't keep doing this hierarchy thing and wanting to, like, gather everything for one person or two people, and people are just lucky if they get a little piece of the pie. I guess they didn't work hard enough. This way of thinking is so bizarre to me, because if we had changed this thinking and we all came together to bring each other up and to help each other, and I don't mean pump each other up, I mean, if we kind of realize that we are the majority of people are not, and if we came together and we decided to only work together as people, the whole world would change. But here's the problem: nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. They want someone to lead, and they want to follow, and they want to have somebody have more than somebody else. It's like out of people's thinking. Let me tell you something. When I talk about the spirit world, people often can't fathom the idea that in the spirit world, there isn't something you have to do, that you don't have to work. They're like, well, if you're not working, then what are you doing? If you don't have a task, then what could you possibly be doing? People don't understand that maybe you're growing, maybe you're evolving, Maybe you don't need to like do something to like set your life into a place where, like, here we do something so we could build a house, so we can have a car, meaning like not build a house literally, but we can get things so we can elevate our status so that we can have the hierarchy. It's very hard for people to kind of believe, I got you, Nikki, to believe in the idea that maybe we're actually could be people that are just almost just trying to open our minds to like grow. That's what they're doing, that other realm, to evolve. If we were to focus on that, so much would change, but we don't feel comfortable with that. We don't. We say we want that. We sing about peace and love, but what do we crave? We crave conflict. We like to see conflict. We're uncomfortable if things are too nice, too good, too comfortable. Then we start seeking something out. And I do believe this more has to do with what we've grown used to. That's my spiel for today. Anyone going to say hello? I see you on here, Nikki. You donated and wanted to get a reading. We're all connected. We are all connected, but nobody wants to act connected. That's the problem. People are not comfortable with that. Hi, Suze. Is this Susie? Which Suze is this? Oh, Susan. Is this Susan? The thing is, think about this. If you're watching, let's say, a reality show or something, if people aren't arguing, if there's not conflict, people are like, well, this is boring. People don't want to see like, hey, everyone works together and everything gets along. Even in a movie, even in a storyline, people want to see, where's the conflict? Where's the struggle? I'm the Suze from Utah many moons ago. Oh, from Utah. Oh, okay. Hello, Suze from Utah. People will say, like, if someone's writing a story, they're like, where's the conflict? Where are things conflicting? Oh, by the way, Nikki's on my list. I'm going to read her in a minute. If you want to get in my list, I'm only on here for an hour. I'll tell you every 15 minutes to remind you the time that's left. Right now, here's your reminder, because I will stop taking people in about 45 minutes. Yes, I met someone tonight at my incubator pitch night that has gotten a mediumship reading from you, and she said you were amazing, of course. What? Who? You mean you got incubator? Because she asked me how I learned mediumship, and I said you were my mentor, and she said she knows you in Pittsburgh. She knows me from online. Have I read her? I got an ad. Okay. Listen, you guys, don't hate me for the ads. Speaking of conflict, YouTube won't like blurt out my lives if I don't let them do an ads. The reason why I don't take super chat is because do I ever see any? Yeah, I make a penny. And she got a reading. Oh, she heard about me from the Funny Feeling podcast. Okay. Awesome. Well, there you go. It's a small world. What can I do for you? Matter of fact, you have one more to book. Don't you have one more you need to book? One more mentorship? I have been mentoring. This is the only thing that has given me hope, is mentoring. My YouTube app just closed. Is it my turn? Yes. The only thing that has given me hope is doing my mentorships, because I've been mentoring people. Nikki is mentoring Yes, I do. I'll book it for next week. Okay. They've been mentoring because they are becoming a professional reader. And then some people are mentoring for their own, like, things they want to get done in their life. If you're on my Patreon, I posted a video on it because people were asking. Um, but yeah, I was on a podcast called Funny Feeling. It's very popular. It's a paranormal podcast. I have a paranormal podcast. I think people are still listening to it. I never hear from anybody. Is it just me, or has anyone noticed Instagram is dead? Is it just me? I just want to know. Because Instagram feels like dead, 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 dead. I post things on there still. I still keep it alive, but a couple have mentioned a specific metaphysical shop here that I am thinking about reaching out to do a reading at. Can you look into the person that runs it and if it's a good space to get involved with? Okay, sure. Good question, by the way. To do readings at. Yes, I get it. To do readings at. But am I right? Just before I do that, am I right? Can you guys give me some feedback? First of all, people don't comment on anything anymore besides TikTok. And Instagram seems completely dead. I feel like everyone's running from social media because they're afraid of saying anything because people pounce on each other. I don't know. Just wanted to know your feedback. Speak up. Yes, I don't get an Instagram much anymore because I don't want to be stressed out of. See, I've noticed this is why people can't go to my Patreon more or join my Patreon, because it's like a safer space. Am I right or am I right? Well, yeah, I do. I don't think people are going on Instagram very much anymore. I've noticed people have disappeared. It's definitely been noticeable. Okay. Let me take a look at this person. Well, the first thing, I think with all the chaos going on in the country, people are trying to stay away from the social media. Maybe that's just me. No, I have noticed that, Elizabeth. And I've noticed that there's been an uptick in people going to my Patreon and joining my Patreon because it's stress free. You know what I mean? It's not social media. Okay. When I see the lady, Nikki, I actually see like she's really cool. She's really into her shop. She seems like actually like legitimately into what she's doing. This isn't just like her just trying to have a shop and see if she can make money. It feels actually really good. It feels very positive, like somebody who's trying to pour, her energy into it. It feels like a good place for you to be at. I would and it doesn't feel like someone named Peters. You have the same last name as me? Let me see. Kenneth. Oh no, not same last. Medium reading. Okay, got you, Kenneth. I got you, Kenneth. Yeah. Um, she feels really positive, and it's more than that. She feels positive. Is she looks like she's really into what she's doing. In other words, like I see her. Sorry, I'm trying to can this table just stay? Um, it feels like a true metaphysical shop where she's really trying to create a community. She's trying to create a good place where people can do things and have classes. It actually feels very positive. I like her vibe because she does have that witchy vibe, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's really um has been doing this a while. I would say the only thing that would be anything is that she's a little bit, overwhelmed a lot of the times, and you may notice that she gets a little bit, you know, stressed at times. But other than that, I don't see this being a negative. Yes, they're busy. That's awesome. I heard they get, yes. I feel like if anything, if you get close to her, she's the type that if you're like, "Hey, I have an idea, let's do this," she'd be like, "Great." She will be the type of person that will say, "Well, why don't you do it?" Or she'll want to try and get you involved, you know what I mean? So you just have to decide. Like she may be the type to say, if you want to do some advertisement, fine, I don't mind. Or if you want to get on top of that, like she's definitely overwhelmed where she can't like, you can't go to her and go like, oh, I would love this for my readings. Or she would probably say, well, why don't, go for it. Let's say you want to teach a class or do like a medium group or something, maybe not teach a class or whatever. She would say, yes, if you can put that together and blah, 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 then we could do that. But she definitely can't handle, you know what I mean? She's not like super organized, but that's because they're actually pretty busy. So I would say get involved because she could be the type that's like, if you want to help run things, blah 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 in these days, and you know what I mean, there's room to grow there is what I'm saying. So it feels good, Nikki. I like it. There's no, she's pretty business savvy is the best way I could describe it. There's a difference between not being not business savvy. Her whole thing is wanting to provide a space where readers can come and host stuff. See, I told you guys. I told you, everyone. See, see, that's what I'm saying. I see that she's like, great, but she may be like, oh, I bit off more than I can chew. So if you're willing to go, yeah, I'll jump in, I'll help, I'll do this, she totally would be down for that. Okay, Kenneth. Just to remind people, this is your half hour warning, but every 15 minutes, I'm giving you an update of I'm only going to be reading. I'm going to be closing the list in a half hour. So if you want to get on this, also want to remind people if you're in the LA area, I'm going to be doing an in-person medium gallery. Okay, cool. Thank you. You're welcome, Nikki. Um, I'm going to be doing an in-person medium salon. I only have 5 slots. 2 slots were taken, and that will be on the 13th. And if you're on my Patreon, I'll be putting up speed readings soon for everyone, and a new class this month. And if you're a sacred scholar, you get 45% off my readings. And if you're a seeker, you get 35% off. So I post every day, energy climates. I don't post on the weekends because I try to give myself off on the weekends. Like I ever really get a full day off. But the energy today's been a little, it's been all right. It's been okay. It's been feeling a little rough today. Okay, Kenneth, you want me to do a medium reading? Have I read for you before? If not, let me explain to you how I work. You're going to tell me who you would like to speak to by your relationship to that person. So if it's a relative, you would say what relative, on what side of the family, or a friend. And I will talk to that person and they'll tell me how they passed. How you haven't. Okay. I will talk to that person. They're going to tell me how they passed. They're going to also give me a couple of details of information. I don't need you to jump in and fit and add information, but I just like you to talk back to me and say like, yes, this makes sense, or no, or whatever. And that's how it works. A medium salon is so it's basically I used to do them like 20, 25 people. He, him, best friend, female. You're he, him, and your best friend is female. You must have been watching me for a while, Kenneth, because I used to ask people these questions to convey. A medium salon is, I used to read big amounts of people, 20, 25 people. And just like I'm doing for Kenneth, you're going to see what I'm about to do for Kenneth. I do for everybody in person, but longer. So everybody gets like a longer reading. Um, Catching up on your lies. Okay. And so each person who comes gets a reading. This is a very small group. I'm doing this in LA and Burbank. It's going to be in the Wizard Room. And what I like about it is it's kind of intimate, so everyone can listen to everyone's reading and people can ask me questions after. So it's a little more of an intimate, more semi-private setting than when I used to do big ones like 20, 25 people. Okay. All right, Kenneth, here we go. Your friend, female, best friend, female. The first thing I feel from her, Kenneth, she feels pretty overwhelmed and pretty sad. She's saying that, there's kind of like a sadness about her passing, that she feels like she left too soon. Um, it's not a, that she's sad now, but it's more about how she passed. She says that she felt like things got very, like she couldn't control things anymore. Things got out of control. It's almost like the feeling when everything's spiraling down, you know? She felt like things were spiraling down and she couldn't stop it. But it's not to say she isn't very excited to talk to you. It's more about the pain of how she left this world. She does say that her actual passing wasn't painful. Like her actual passing, she says, was more beautiful than she anticipated. But I feel like from her, there's almost like a sensitivity. Like, when somebody's like too sensitive for this world, or this world was very difficult for her. Um, Yeah, there's just like an emotional pain I feel from her. Yes, diagnosed and gone in 3 months. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did something she did to herself because she went so quick, but she's saying like the hardest part was, you know, feeling like, and yes, she struggled mentally. Yeah. So she just wants you to know, like, that part really took a toll, but in a weird way, she almost was relieved for sure. Um, she says that even if she had found out sooner, she's not sure she would have done all the things that they do to you to stop this kind of disease, to stop this type of thing. Hold on one second. Do you know what's significant about the month of May? Because she's talking about the month of May. And she's saying like she doesn't know if she would have gone through the things that they wanted her to, even if she found out sooner. She's also putting like a flower in your hair. It looks like a red flower. It kind of reminds me of Hawaii, the flowers you see in Hawaii. She says, "Thank you. I understand her son's birthday's month." Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's a confirmation. She says, "Thank you so much for always believing in her and talking to her since she passed, and that she definitely hears you." And she just jokes and says, the blue jay sings, whatever that means. So yeah, this is just quick little reading. So I hope this helped. Um, One last thing though, because she keeps on talking. She just wants you to know, to hold faith in what you're doing, that it may seem like things aren't going to work out, but they will. Just hold on to the faith, whatever that means. Okay? I hope this helped. Um, I've been doing a lot more medium readings. For a while, it was just intuitive for the past few months, but I feel like people are starting to want to reach back out to um, to their people. She was my cheerleader in life. She loved the birds. Thank you. Oh, okay. You're welcome. Yeah, so pretty much this is what I do in the medium salon in person, but it's longer. And then my private readings are even longer. People often get surprised that my medium readings, people think that a medium reading wouldn't be that long, but people don't understand that when I do medium readings, a little different. People talk to you. They want to kind of tell you things about what they've been through, what the other side is like for them, what they see. They'll talk a little bit about you, but they'll talk about what their life was like, what they've learned. It's kind of like having a visitation with somebody, and I'm just in the middle passing it on. AKA, medium is a mediator. My belief is that a true medium is mediating the dead to the living, people have passed to the living, and it's not um, the same as when people say psychic medium. Anyway, this is your 15-minute warning to get on my list if you want before I close. If you have any questions about spirituality in general or this type of thing, I'm happy to answer at this time. I feel like the more I think about it, I've been scared to write this book that I'm writing, which is about all my experiences and how I got here. It's like a section of my life. It's not an autobiography, obviously. Um, um, I'm excited to see how this will help people or how people will take it in. It's going to be interesting. This should be interesting. Any questions about anything else? Is anybody enjoying the music? Can you hear the music? I'm enjoying it. I do feel like I'm going to do, I can't wait to read it. Oh, good. Thanks, Nikki. I can't believe I've been writing so much of it. It's kind of pouring out now. That's how it is. That's how it's always been for me, but that's how it is. You kind of like put something off, and then all of a sudden it pours out. I feel like I want people to realize like magic and the paranormal. If you need a test reader, I'm around. Are you an editor? I actually need to give this to an editor. I need someone to edit this for me. Um, definitely needs. I'm going to have to hand it over to someone to edit. Um, thank you for all they do. Any thoughts on repetitive dreams and scenarios? Repetitive dreams. Huh. Like you're saying you've had the same type of dream, or is it the same type of dream, or is it literally the same dream? Two things. If it's the same type of dream, it usually is representative of something trying to tell you something. If it's the same exact dream, that is completely different. Some people have the same thing happen in the dream and it keeps happening. But then there's like, it's the type of dream, like I have one. I'm not going to share it on here, but I have one um, where it's like, you know what I mean? The same thing happens. And it's the same type of thing, but different background. Got it. It's happened both. Okay. Well, my feeling is when it's the same type of dream that's happening, it's definitely something to do with, there's two things. It could be a premonition of something you're seeing coming, or it could be like something you have to deal with. There's like psychological type dreams that is coming up, and I've had those, and then I've had premonitions. If I think on here isn't a good place to share it, but I usually would. I am good at interpreting the dreams in readings. I've a dream question. I get dreams that just a flash or a picture of something with no context. Are those spiritual dreams or psychological? How do I send you 20? In the description, there's like PayPal and my Venmo and all that. If you just drop into the description, I have all the links there set up for you. I have completely understood, appreciate your time. Yeah, so Kenneth, and I'm going to get to yours, Nikki. Dreams are one of my favorite things. I'm really good at interpreting dreams. And also, sometimes dreams are definitely premonitions. So, I've talked about this. And I wrote about this in the book, but I've talked about that I had the same dream when I was a little kid about my aunt and her passing away early, and she did. But that is my life, so I could see something like that because it was affecting me. And that's definitely a premonition, and it was different ways each time, but it was the same message. Does that make sense? So if you're having a dream that's kind of different scenarios, but it's the same thing, it can often be a premonition. But let's say you go I keep having a dream that I'm back in school, and I keep having this dream that I'm back in school, then it's usually psychological and something trying to tell you, like, let's say this, for example, that you're feeling like you're never getting where you want to go. As far as flashes and picture of something with no contents, text, and you're just getting like a picture of something in a dream with no context, that's kind of interesting. It can kind of feel like you're trying to um, connect to that realm. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to like dial up and get online, but you're not fully seeing it. You're not seeing the whole picture. What I would do, and this is what I would say to people, period, write down those flashes you're getting. And also, if you're having dreams over and over, write the dream down, because I promise you that it can mean more than you're thinking if you write the dream down. Not to mention, when you write dreams down, even if, like, for instance, I had a dream and it was like a client of mine was in it. It's someone I read for often, and I let them know the next time I talk to them because I wrote it down. Yes, it's like frozen image, like a symbol of something. Yes, okay, you described it perfectly. Okay, cool, Kenneth. Um, and the dream, I couldn't remember anything, but I remembered the visual things that were in there, and it was very significant to her. Never discount your dreams. If you have a dream about a person, you have a dream about a family member or friend, and it doesn't make sense, and you're someone who tends to be very intuitive, and you've had these things a lot of times, I would write it down. I would also tell someone, because you never know, you might surprise yourself. Just saying. This is one thing I've learned when I'm mentoring people, is that people think that things that have been happening to them that are kind of like don't mean anything, or, oh, I just thought this happened to people all the time. You start to realize it is connected to maybe a gift you have and to something you have that you've just kind of haven't given a lot of credence to it. You know what I mean? So I believe if you're someone who's open, if you're intuitive, you shouldn't ever discount anything. Okay, Yolana, I got you. Do you just like to be called Yolana? I like calling you by your full name. I think you have it nicknamed on here, though. I got you for a reading. I got you, Susan. Hi there, you can call me Yoli. Okay, Yoli. I had crazy premonition dreams about a friend. I did tell them. I thought about writing it in for your readers room episode because I've been curious about it. Well, write it in. What the hell? I need stories. Why do you guys leave me hanging all the time? What if I used to dream of things in the future, but it stopped in the last couple of years? Does that mean I'm not open? Yes. Point blank, Yoli. I mean, Korchik. I'm reading Yoli. Point blank, Korchik. Yes, it does. This is part of why I started mentoring people. That's a yes. Okay, I will. I'm lazy. Oh my God. You know what? Yes. Okay, Yoli, what can I do for you? Would you like an intuitive or a medium reading? Um, I got Susie. I got Suze. Hold on, let me check. Yes, I got you, Nick. I got you, Liz. I got you, Liz. Hold on, let me put you down here. Okay. Hi, Liz. So, Yoli, the way I read is I do like a specific questions. Um, these are little mini readings, so I'm not covering like a bunch of things. So, if you have a specific question about your health, I can answer that. When it comes to spirit guides, I see spirit guides a little different. Just so everybody knows, spirit guides are more of a collective conscious. I know people want to believe we have these like individual people following us, but we really don't. It's kind of part of a collective whole. So to be honest, it's kind of like asking, it's like you Google something and you get a bunch of answers. And that's what I do when I'm doing an intuitive reading. I'm kind of going into the internet and getting all about you and seeing you, so to speak. And spirit guides separate themselves and make them an individual version of themselves, because that's what we understand here. So I don't really do the whole like, oh, this is who it is, because that's not how I see them. And it's really not as important as it is to listen to the collective conscious and to try to tune into your intuition and trust it. It's much more important. So what can I do? If you have a question about your health, I'm happy. But I need a specific question. So when it comes to intuitive readings, I like specific questions because I give specific answers. Is there something you're concerned about your health specifically? Because what I do is scan people and see what I see. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. I always have to say that. You know what I mean? So if you can just throw up your question so we can get started. And send in your goddamn stories, Nikki. I mean, what the hell? People, I have a podcast to run, and you just leave me hanging there waiting for your stories. So, hello. Is anyone here? Hi, Timothy. So Yoli, what specific health thing would you like me to look at? Are we just probably having a delay here? Because there's always a delay. a seed from my lemons that I put in. Is she here still? That makes sense. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time formulating a question. What what do you want to know? It's pretty simple. Don't be nervous. Is there something about it's just keep it simple. It's something an area in your health you want me to look at. If you don't want it to be your health, you could have maybe that's too personal, so you can just ask something else. What are you concerned about? What is there something you're concerned about? Don't be nervous. I promise I will be gentle. Do you want me to go to someone else while you think about it and then come back? If that helps, I can jump. Okay, I'm going to put a circle around you. Susan, what can I help you with? And then I'll come back to you, Yoli, and then after you will be Liz. Okay. So Susan, I know you know the drill. What's up? What can I help you with? Where'd she go? Okay. Anyway, while we're waiting, um I love all the dream stuff, and on my podcast The House Medium, people send in a lot of dream stories, and people would be really surprised to know there's a lot of cool stuff that happens and goes on in dreams. Susan, are you here? Susan. Susan, is this mic on? Suze. Okay, I'm going to jump to Liz and hope somebody will talk to me. Liz, are you there? Liz, what can I do for you? Are you there, Liz? Are you there? Is anybody here? I'll come back to Suze. Are you here, Liz? Okay, what can I do for you? I'll come back to Suze. I'm putting like a star around these two. Okay. Uncle on my mother's side, I have had dreams where I answer a phone and I can hear him saying he's trying to reach me to help someone. I'll come back to you, Suze, because you took so long. I'm going to do Liz, okay? But you are next, I promise. Okay, come on, Liz. I'm going to start. Your great uncle. No, I got it. Your uncle on your mom's side. Your great uncle on your mom's side. Okay. Great uncle on your mom's side. Okay. So when I see him, he's talking about his passing, was a little bit brutal, meaning like he had a little bit of a difficult time. He had illness for like a while. I don't know, did he smoke or something? Because there's just like a grayness that he's showing me that he had before he died. Um, you have read for me before. My uncle died. Okay, that's fine. And he's talking about, I know Suze, but you weren't there, and Liz popped in, so I had to start with her. So I will get back to you. Got you, Timothy. Okay. So I'm going to circle back to you. Don't worry. And he's saying like it's kind of like, I was asking you if he was smoking, Suze, because it felt like he looked kind of gray, and it's kind of like his lungs were a little bit. He's talking about something about his lungs or his chest. I think so, but I don't remember very clearly. Passed away when I was fairly young. Okay. Suze, I talked to you like 5 times. I said I see you, but you didn't answer for like a long time. Maybe these are delayed. I think they're delayed. So yeah, I'll get back to her. Okay. So Liz, that's what I see. And all I see with him is that the reason why he's contacting you like the way that he's been is because he just wants people to know he's around. He just wanted someone to know he's around. There really was nothing bigger to it. There's no big looming message. He just felt like you were the most person that was open to him, like you were the easiest to get through to. Um, he says that there's not a lot that you would know about his life and things that went on, so he's not going to really get into that. But he does feel like you're just easier to kind of connect to because you believe in that he exists. It feels very light. It feels very positive. He is saying something about, he keeps showing me like a boat and the beach. I don't know if you know anything about his life. I don't know if he was in the Navy or something, but he is talking about that. And he is talking about something about his neck too. He keeps showing me like this area down into his chest. So if you don't know, it's kind of hard. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to get a reading, a medium reading, everyone, always make sure you know enough about the person because they're going to tell me stuff. And so I want to be able to confirm. So if you don't know these things, then just write it down, Liz, and you can always go check with your family. But he's basically saying the reason why he was reaching out or you were seeing the phone. And I can tell you for sure, if you're seeing the phone, that's awesome and super symbolic of clear as day, trying to tell you, like, yeah, I'm trying to connect with you on the other side. I can ask my grandma if he was in the army. I feel like I see a boat in the water. So wouldn't that be the Navy, I believe? Um, but definitely was trying to like give you all the clues, all the signs that he's trying to connect because not too many people in the family connect with him. So I feel like he's saying you were chosen for that. This like this light sucks. Okay. So I think that I remember you asking me this, and I think I told you that before. Maybe I didn't, but I kind of knew. I'm not sure if I did tell you this, but maybe it was someone else. But if you have a dream, everyone, of someone who passed and you see them on the phone, it usually means they were trying to connect with you. Okay, Suze, before you, there was Yoli. What happened is that Yoli wanted me to go to the next person. Um, and and she wasn't sure about her question. So I'm going to Yoli, then you, okay? Because actually Yoli was before you, but it took so long. I'm gonna go to Yoli and then you'll be next. To be fair, because I want to honor the order. She just got a little nervous, Suze, and she just wanted to get her thoughts straight. So I think we can all be supportive of each other in this group. I'm okay. I'm going to switch over to my career. I'm an academic, but I've been experiencing burnout. Is this still a good road for me? Okay. So whenever I look at career and things like this, so thank you, Liz. Whenever I look at careers, it goes like this. I'm going to look at it's not what you should do. You know what I mean? It's more where what it what feels best for you, you know what I mean, where you connect with, if that makes sense. So let me look at that and I'll see where it's going. So you're in academics and you are getting burned out. That makes sense. Okay, hold on. Just want to see a little closer. Can you guys hear the music? So this is what I got right off the bat. It does look like it's not that this is a bad road, but it's the way you're doing it or where you're doing it. So in other words, the vision I have of you is like, are you are you working with little kids? Or are you in the college area? I had a vision of you kind of more working with that you were working with older kids or college age people. Guess they're not kids. Um, um, can you answer that? College, university? Okay. I feel like it's not so much that the work you're doing, but where you're at. It's where. I feel like when I saw you, you still liked what you're doing. I also kind of saw that if you were at a different place, it wasn't just you teaching, it was like maybe leading like a group or doing some kind of research with people, working with other professors. It's kind of more where you're at than it was what you're doing. I saw. I didn't see that you didn't enjoy when I saw you somewhere else. And also, for some reason, I saw you kind of like being in a group, almost like working with a group or working with other professors or working on something. I think what's missing, this is what I see, what's missing is that you aren't in a place where you're using your mind to kind of learn and grow. Your learning part has been stagnated, and so you haven't been liking it as much. But when I saw you in this different university, it was almost like you get into a program or you're working with the program and you're part of a group on this program. So you're learning, you're going to like, seminars and different things. And so like your excitement builds up again. I didn't see it was time to leave. It was more where you're at. Does this make any sense? Okay, just so everybody knows the order, I'm going to read Sue's and then Timothy is my last one. So I hope this made sense. I don't know. I'm waiting for Yoli. Yeah, I felt that before. Yes, it's where, not what. But these are little mini readings that I do. So I'm just giving you a quick little snapshot. And so I hope that helped because I actually saw you really happy in this new place. What's the word? Invigorated, recharged. And I saw you in a program that you were excited about. And you kind of looked like confident again, sure of yourself again. That's the vision I had. It's where you're at. Okay, Suze, did you say, so I hope that helped, Yoli, and thanks for coming on and joining me. Where is Suze at? I know you told me who. Your uncle on your mom's side. Oh, wait, so there's two uncles that I've read. Okay, your uncle on your mom's side. Medium, your uncle. Okay. So the first thing that I heard was that I'm pretty chill. This is what I hear him saying. He goes, I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty relaxed. I don't really need a lot. He's saying that, his passing was expected. And you welcome, Yoli. It was expected. It wasn't a shock to him. He kind of felt that things um, spun out a little bit, towards the end, but it wasn't bad for him. So he doesn't want anyone to worry about how he was feeling. He was pretty prepared and he was pretty aware of what was going on. He feels pretty grateful for how things ended, if that makes sense. He says, a lot of people have a really difficult time. And for me, I felt very calm and at peace. He also says that he's not surprised about how the other side is. He said the people are very loving and there's compassion and there's open heartedness, and he appreciates that. He didn't expect it to be so vibrant. Um, is is his wife there? Was he married? Because he's talking about his wife. He died peacefully. He said he feel exactly. He said, I feel very grateful he says, listen, when everyone dies, it is true that it's instant and they are able to enter to this world immediately, but not everyone gets that kind of last time on earth. He never been married. Oh, because there's a woman he's showing me, a woman that he was excited to see that feels like a best friend, not really like a mother or grandmother, feels more like a best friend. He was in love long time ago. Oh, she passed? And also, just so you know, he had a cool explanation for everyone to hear. When people pass, everyone is able to jump to that side pretty quickly. But he's got a good point. He says it's more about the last hurrah you have on earth. He says some people it's just reaching down and tying their shoe, and that's their last hurrah. And some people have the way he had his last hurrah. So he feels fortunate that his last hurrah was a slow goodbye. By the way, the woman, oh my God, yes. And he said, has the woman passed? Was that a yes that the woman passed? Anyway, he's talking about this woman. Just saying. He says, thank you for this connection. He's very chill. I feel like very chill. He said, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm sure she has passed. He was very excited to see her and connect. Oh, he was 96. That makes sense. And he says, we're young again. I'm young again. She's young again. And it's not too late for him to love. Anyway, he never married at 96. Well, that's another story we'd love to hear. Anyway, that's it. He says he will give you signs in a very loving, peaceful way, kind of more like birds and butterflies and rainbows. He likes peace. Okay? You're welcome. All right. So my last reading, because the list is closed, is Timothy. Timothy. And to remind everybody, of course, I do full readings. He really does. Thank you. I know. I just immediately just was like, oh, I feel calm. Thank you. Thank you to your uncle. It's bringing calmness into me. Just a peaceful energy, reminding us to strive for that. Um, so remind everybody, I do full readings, of course, and you can go to my website for those, AdelaLavine.com. And I have a Patreon where I post things. I do all kinds of things, mentoring. I put classes up. I'm doing an in-person medium salon this next on the 13th. Okay, high intuitive reading. I have a question about my current career. My boss left and her position is open for executive pastry chef. I've communicated that I'm interested in this position. Okay, well, how have you communicated? Here's my feeling. My feeling is that they are not unsure that you could do it. It's more about showing assertiveness. It's not unsure that you can do the actual job. It's more about concern about how you are with people. Email in-person meetings. So what it is that they need to hear from you more is how you would handle employees. It's not about your skills and being as good as her and being able to hold up what she's doing. Yeah, it's more about the assertiveness. Like, are you going to be able to handle the people? So, what I would say is that is something you would have to show them. It's a little hard to show them when you don't have the position, I understand, but it's almost like if you were acting different at work, if you were speaking up, or the other thing I could see them fully responding to is if you just directly say, listen, I know that I'm more quiet and I'm not a person who like is forward, but I know how to quietly get people to do it. I have a different way. Oh, that's what I see. What I see is that I have a different way about me, that I know how to listen to people. I know how to guide people, but I don't have to do it in an aggressive way. I just have a different approach. So you have to explain to them your approach. What I really feel will work is if you're honest, you say, I listen, I honestly can see why you would think I wouldn't be able to handle people because I'm more on the quiet side. But you can just say, my old boss was really aggressive. Right. So if you say, I'm much more of, you know, you get, I know how to get people to feel comfortable and trust me and want to do the work with me. So you have to explain your way and how it's different, because that's their only apprehension, is more about, is he going to be able to handle the employees? Does that make sense? My feeling is kind of come up with a plan of, not a plan, but come up with a way of explaining it. Some people have a quiet leadership and some people have a loud one. And I would say I'm more on the quiet, guide people to where they need to go and make people feel I'm trustworthy and also comfortable and want to do the work. But I will get it done and I will make sure everything that needs to get done will get done. Okay? Practice the speech, and you need to talk to them and say, I just have one more thing I'd love to go over with you guys. Okay? Got it, Timothy? You welcome. Thank you all for joining me. And I'm going to go chill. I did like several readings today. And now these, and I need to go rest my little self. my big self, because I'm not little. I'm 5'11". So I'm going to go rest myself. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have a great Saturday night. Remember, you can always find me at AdelaLavine.com. I'm also on TikTok, AdelaLavine, Instagram, AdelaLavine. My podcast, A House Medium, write in some goddamn stories. Come on. And my Patreon. I have all the things. All the things. Thank you. See you soon. No, seriously, see you soon. Bye. See you soon, Nikki. Thank you. Thank you, Court Chick.